welcome back. Today we're going to visit a bike shed, a volunteer-run bike workshop up in Brunswick. Bridget's going to take us on a little bit of a tour and answer some questions, and a bonus little bike check on Spencer's bike at the end. Hope you like it. Cheers.
So welcome to the bike shed. Follow me. This is kind of like the main hub of the operation here. As a volunteer, this is where you'll come to work on the bikes that are donated to us. So this is kind of the main workshop space here. It's kind of indoors, outdoors, mostly outdoors, but we really love that here.
Get some fresh air and stuff.
Yeah, it's really nice. After working in commercial shops where it's like a little cave usually.
A little stuffy, yeah.
Yeah, it's quite nice here.
What do you guys do when it rains? Do you still keep going or?
It depends how rainy it is and how many people want to come in. But yeah, like we do have enough coverage here that you can be undercover and out of the sun and the rain if you need to.
Awesome.
So yeah, we set up all of these stands here so we can have up to 7 or 8 volunteers working on as many bikes at a time. It's usually looking really busy in here. Got like a nice wheel roof here to protect you from some of the elements.
How long has that been here for?
At least 10 years. The bike shed itself has been running for 40 years.
Oh wow, that's so cool.
Yeah. So I'm only part of the most recent chapter of it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Glad it's still going, you know.
It's still going. Yeah. So we really are volunteer powered. I'm lucky to be one of the paid mechanics here, but it's mainly volunteers that keep the whole place running. So volunteer mechanics and also the committee and everyone who comes in to work on the bikes that are donated to us. So members of the public will come and donate bikes that they don't need anymore. Or we find bikes in hard rubbish, like on the side of the road, that kind of thing, saving a lot of bikes from going to the tip. And then we have a lot of parts that are donated to us as well. We sort them all out here.
Great.
And then volunteers come in and just pull a bike out from the shed that we'll show you. And then pop them in one of the stands and then just spend the day fixing the bike. And everyone's usually at a bit of a different level with where they're at in their mechanic journey, but it's really nice where there's lots of people around to help each other as we go.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Can anyone come of any skill level?
Yes. So you sign up to do a volunteer induction, which we run every couple of months. And then you'll just come in for a couple of hours and learn how the space works and where everything is. And then you can sign up to volunteer. And we're open almost every day of the week now for some kind of like bike fixing, volunteering.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So pretty flexible, can fit people's schedule and stuff.
Totally. Yeah, and we have most of the days where it's just for volunteers to work on bikes that have been donated to us. But then once a week on Thursday afternoons, we also are open to members of the public to come and fix their own bikes.
Ah, cool.
So you can pay $5 to rent one of these stands for an hour and then use all the tools and kind of lots of questions to the volunteers of how to fix something.
Is this all the tools that people can use?
Some of the tools, yeah. So these are kind of like the basic ones here. But if you follow me inside here, this is where you'll find a lot of the parts and more of the tools.
This is awesome.
Yeah, we try to keep it as well organized as possible so people can find where things are. And we have a lot of the specialist tools as well.
Oh, yeah, that people might not have at home.
Exactly. Yeah, it's really useful, you know, if you need to like set a crown race or something like a bit more obscure.
Yeah.
Like it's nice to be able to come in here and use those things. And then we also just have a million parts as well.
Yeah, I remember coming here, a few years ago, and there's, just parts everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, and like, obviously a lot of what we get donated is just kind of the workhorse kind of bikes, the workhorse parts. But we're lucky to get donated some nice stuff as well.
That's awesome. How do you go about sorting all the parts out?
Myself and Andrew, the other mechanic, we do a lot of the sorting, and then like more experienced volunteers, people who, you know, are kind of nerdy for different parts. Right. They'll be able to help us sort it. And then people just kind of sort as they go when the volunteers come in and they're like, oh, I'm looking for a cassette. So you just start working your way through here, essentially. And I can show you outside.
Are these just more parts here?
Yeah, these are just more parts here. These are like shifters and brake levers. Got handlebars down here. Yep. Quill stems.
Wow. Yeah, there's so much
handlebars.
stuff. Do you guys ever run out of room or?
We try to be careful about not accepting too much junk.
Right.
You know, that it's kind of a fine line of what's like junk and what's worth saving. This is a pile where we just kind of put bikes that we're going to scrap.
Right.
Well, not that one.
Spencer won't be happy with that.
Yeah. But like bikes that we're like, okay, this is kind of too trashy even for us to be able to save. Maybe there's like a crack in the frame or something, but we want to take the parts off it.
Yeah.
Goes in that pile. You'll see that we've got all the tires down here, some tires, some tubes.
Got a bunch of saddles here and tires.
And we're quite lucky with the tires that we get.
Yeah, I think most tires that I find as well, they're in pretty good condition. They can last a while.
Totally. Yeah,
it's good that it's all being reused and not just thrown out.
For sure. We try to save frames that we'd like volunteers to build up from scratch as well. Cool. Obviously, we get some cool vintage stuff come in.
Nice.
And then we've just got a million wheels. We've
wow,
got so many wheels.
So many wheels here.
Yeah.
Even like in the back, all those wheels.
Yeah, and these are the ones that we've like decided to keep. We get donated more front wheels than anything else maybe.
Wow.
So we just kind of go through and see, like, you know, if the rims are still looking good.
Okay,
and that kind of stuff. And then we try to keep the rear wheels in here.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So then we've got a bunch of rear wheels in here, and then also just like projects that volunteers are working on.
Okay, cool.
And these are just projects that have gone on for a bit longer. It's a more specific fix that they've been doing, and maybe it's a bike they'd like to buy for themselves when they're done fixing it as well.
When a volunteer comes in and they say they fix up a bike, how long, I guess how many sessions does it usually take for them to kind of do one up?
Well, it could be sorted out in one day if it's like a simple thing, or it could be sorted out over a couple of weeks.
Oh, right, okay.
And it might be that it's like multiple groups of volunteers working on the same bike.
Okay, yeah.
Which is quite nice because...
That's still pretty quick though.
It is pretty quick considering how wild some of the problems can be with these donated bikes. But also, if you work on a bike for a day and you don't finish it and it's making you feel a bit crazy, it's nice to know that you can just leave some notes on the bike.
Right, just park it.
And then someone else will come in the next day and they'll be like, oh, okay, I see there's like a really weird problem with the headset.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to try and tackle this. And it's nice to know sometimes that you don't have to solve every single problem by yourself. Yeah,
it's awesome. I like the idea of everyone just sharing the problems of the bike. So
totally,
you might know how to fix one thing and then someone else can fix something else.
Yeah,
super
for
cool.
sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll show you where all the bikes get donated.
Okay.
Where they go when they get donated. We pulled out a couple of examples to show you. This is a really classic kind of CERES bike where it might not look very sexy, but this is the kind of bike that we sell the most of, which is just going to be like, you know, a nice workhorse commuter for someone to ride. It's obviously had a couple of different problems for volunteers to solve. Someone had to put different forks on it, that kind of thing. I think it has a different saddle.
Cool.
But on Saturdays, when we sell the fixed up bikes to the public, people are lining up to come.
Oh, wow, really? Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, because we sell bikes that start at like $50, going up to maybe like $400. Cool. So if you can come and get a way to get around for a really cheap price.
Yeah, that's awesome. If you need a bike, you can just come here and there should be something that will get you going at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just think like after working in commercial shops where, you know, you would look out and see a whole room full of new bikes and you would think, how many more bikes does the world need?
Right.
There's so many bikes.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It's really nice and actually a lot more rewarding for me as a mechanic to fix up these bikes.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially you see all the donated wheels and donated stuff. It's you don't really need a new one.
Yeah. there's a lot already.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you come this way, this is the Gong House.
Gong House?
Yes.
How did you get that name?
I mean, we have a bell.
I
don't know about the gong. But this is where all of our donated bikes come. There's also a possum who lives in here.
Really?
Hence the smell, I'm sorry.
I can't really smell it.
Great.
It smells
But
fine.
yeah, so basically volunteers, when they rock up each day, they'll come and grab one of these bikes.
Okay.
and start working on them. It might be that someone has already done a bit of work on them, and then you can see like some notes left on the bike, like front derailleur not shifting into big ring. So then someone else will grab that and try and solve that problem.
Nice.
And then when they've finished the bike and me or Andrew have checked it over, then we just chuck a price on it, and then on Saturdays we'll sell these.
Awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Today's Friday, tomorrow's Saturday.
You're gonna load all these up?
Yeah, we'll sell all of these.
And where do you put them out? Just out?
We just put them outside here. Kind of where I first said hello to you.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, on Saturdays. I mean, there's actually not that much to see here right now because
this car park.
It's a wedding car park right now. But normally all the bikes will be here.
Okay, cool.
And we'll sell them all on a Saturday. It kind of becomes a bit of a bike marketplace.
That's great. Yeah. So yeah, if you need a bike, you can come right here. Come through. And then this is just, I guess this is your trash area.
This is the trash area, and we still try to like sort all the trash. So this is the metal recycling. And as you can see, we have to throw away stuff as well. Right. Like if a rim is too damaged, if there's like a crack in a frame or something.
Yeah, can't save it all.
You can't save it all. You can't save it all, but people still come here and try and save what we put in the bin.
Oh, great.
As well. But then, it goes to metal recycling, and then these are all the tires and tubes that we can't save. But we still have people who come and try and save these.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So you can come grab a tube, try and save it if you have a flat or something.
Yeah. So we're not even the last link in the chain.
That's great.
Before the tip, which is cool. But yeah, the other thing that we do over here in the workshop is we run classes for people who would like to learn bike mechanics. They're currently running on Sunday mornings. You can sign up for a 5-week class and you can learn kind of like how to fix a tube, different things about wheels, why there's so many different sizes, how to true a wheel, fixing your brakes, fixing your gears, all that kind of stuff.
And then again, like any level you can come.
They're meant to be for beginners, but we're going to start running classes as well on specific things like tubeless setups.
Oh wow,
handlebar conversions.
That's awesome.
That kind of stuff. Yeah, and we have gotten more interest about intermediate level classes.
Oh wow, that's great. That means more people are getting into it.
So we just pulled out one of the bikes that we currently have in the Gong House.
Nice.
That's been fixed up by volunteers. This one has been kicking around for a couple of weeks, so I think it's a pretty classic example. When it first came, it was pretty trashed, and then different volunteers over a couple of weeks worked on it. Yeah, now she's pretty schmick. Like she's a pretty nice,
it's pretty nice frame,
vintage road bike. But in another like kind of classic CERES situation, because things can be missed. Right. Despite the fact that myself or Andrew check over every bike before it's sold. Yeah. We went to sell this a couple of weeks ago, and we realized that the seat post was seized.
Oh no.
Yeah. Wow. So then yesterday we actually got it upside down in the vise. And we were able to get it out that way.
So this one's all ready to go.
Yeah, so I think we encounter a lot of really specific mechanical problems here that maybe you wouldn't working in a shop, just from trying to fix really old stuff. Right, I know when I first started working here, I had not really dealt with like the claw derailleurs or just so many rounded out bolt heads, seized seat posts. Really loose cassettes, just like so much stuff that now has become our bread and butter dealing with, which is cool. Like it's quite empowering as a mechanic to be able to diagnose and problem solve like more janky old problems. Know that you don't have to throw the whole bike out.
Right. You don't have to just chuck a new part or whatever. It's flexible.
Yeah.
Cool.
At the bike shed, I'm one of 2 kind of manager mechanics that are responsible for helping volunteers fix up bikes each day when they come in, help them choose a bike to work on, help them move through all the mechanical problems that they have to solve, find where all the tools are, find replacement parts, that kind of stuff.
Nice.
So it's a lot of kind of like teaching and collaborating as you go. And then also chatting with members of the public who drop by, who might have a question about their own bike, they want to donate a part, something like that. And then on the fix your own bike days, that's when we help members of the public work on their own bikes.
Yep.
And then on Saturdays, that's when we sell bikes to the public as well.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it's like a lot of going back and forth between being a mechanic and being a people person.
Nice.
Yes. Which is quite nice. I've been on bikes my whole life. It's one of my earliest memories is breaking my arm on my bike. Yeah. But obviously that didn't put me off too much.
Still on it.
Yeah. And then as a grown-up, if that's what I am now, I started getting into like bike touring and bike packing.
Oh, cool.
And then I worked as a bike messenger for a long time.
Oh, really? Oh, nice. Just in Melbourne? Yeah.
Here in Melbourne and also in Sydney.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, in Sydney I did it with gears, and here I did a single speed.
Oh, so it's like flatter in Melbourne, yeah.
And then I became a bike mechanic. I got into a bit of frame building, and then I was lucky to land a job here. My favorite thing about working at the bike shed is, well, it's probably two things. One is saving bikes from going to the tip and knowing that we can give them a new life instead of having to buy new bikes constantly. And also just getting to work with so many different amazing volunteers and people that want to learn about bikes and help fix them. I'm sitting on the lunch bike. This is an old Australian post bike that we use to go and buy lunch for the volunteers every day. If you volunteer here, you get free lunch.
Awesome.
So it's kind of just a cute little ritual to jump on this at lunchtime. It's also just a really nice single speed.
Nice.
Yeah. My favorite tool. Well, let me show you.
Yep.
My favorite tool would have to be one of these right here. It's known by a few different names. You might know it as a breaker bar. You might know it as a thing longerer. You might know it as a leverage tool. Really great for getting a really tight cassette off.
Right.
Just like slide this onto the arm of the cassette tool.
Yep.
And then it doesn't seem quite so scary to push down on it. Really good for getting cranks off, that kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It's quite a humble tool, but it's really one of my favorites.
Awesome.
I think my favorite type of bike would honestly be a kind of Franken bike, one that we've saved all the parts from various bikes and then smushed them together into one strange thing of beauty. If you're learning how to work on bikes, doing it a lot is really the best thing that you can do. If you learn one thing, try and do it again immediately afterwards, like learning how to tie a knot.
That's good
if you're taking something apart, stop and chill. Take a mental picture of what you're about to pull apart, or better yet, take an actual picture of what you're about to pull apart. So when you have to put it back together, it's not quite so mysterious. And I really just recommend going slowly and doing it and again and again, and also embracing the fact that you're going to make mistakes, but that's how mechanical work becomes more intuitive as opposed to just having to follow instructions.
Right.
The shout outs would just be to all of the amazing people that make up the Bike Shed community, which is hundreds, if not thousands of people over its 40-year history. Everyone who volunteers here, everyone who donates parts, everyone who comes and buys bikes off of us and keeps us running.
Awesome.
Yeah, we couldn't do it without you. Come and find us on the Merry Creek in Brunswick, located inside CERES Environment Park. We're open Tuesday to Sunday. The only day of rest here is Monday. And you can also find us on the internet, the Bike Shed.
I'll add it in here.
Yeah,
add it in.
Find us on the internet and find us on Instagram at thebikeshed.brunswick.
Alright, big thank you to Bridget for showing us around and answering some questions. Thank you to Spencer for setting it up. If you guys want to check out the bike shed, super cool place, super friendly, and hope you guys liked it. I'll leave the info in the description, and I will catch you next time. Peace.
Alright, here we are checking out Spencer's ride he just built, and we're just gonna, this is Spencer.
Yeah, hello.
We're just gonna take a look at it, see what it is. Pretty cool.
So it's a 97 Giant Iguana, great name and great frame, really. It's 21.5. It's I've just kept the stock drivetrain in the rear more or less, so that's
nice.
That's just 7 speeds there.
Okay. Replaced the cassette, it looks like.
Yep.
cool.
Yeah, so that's up to 32 in the rear, old STX. And then these are just some Shimano cranks with just a AliExpress chainring. Shout out AliExpress.
Nice. How long did shipping take?
That wasn't that bad, actually. I think
Yeah,
I got those in like
couple
2 weeks.
Oh yeah, nice. And what are these pedals you got here?
The LX.
Nice. And then you got some gold chainring bolts as well.
Yeah, a bit more orange than I thought.
Yeah.
Again, shout out AliExpress.
Nice.
But yeah, stock wheels. So these are just old Weinman rims, I think. They're untrue. That's all you need.
What tires you got on there?
So that's a Maxxis Crossmark in the rear. I think that's a 2.1.
Nice.
And a Schwalbe something or other, 2.25 in the front.
Nice.
And then yeah, recently put on these Velo orange bars. So luckily had this bolt, removable bolt stem, so I could chuck those on there.
And then you were saying the stem is it was original, like from the bike.
Yeah, that's stock. Yeah, it was a super lucky find. I was quite stoked to find out that this bike had that when I saw the real not great Gumtree photos.
Nice. And then you got some Auris or Uris, or
yep.
I don't know how you say it.
Whichever way you want.
Yeah, and then is it Altus levers?
Yeah, those again, stock.
Yeah, they look pretty good.
They cleaned up nicely as well. And yeah, just a Brooks saddle.
Brooks saddle. Looks well worn. It's pretty comfy. I actually tried Spencer's bike for a little bit, and yeah, it was pretty comfy. It was a little bit tall for me, but yeah, pretty sick bike.
Well, yeah,
I think it looks awesome.
Thanks again, Spencer, and thanks for watching.